been looking forward to making my fruit salad all day. Oh, but I forgot my cutting board in the car. Where'd all my fruits go? I don't want to waste my money. Maybe this note will help me find them. In order to find your lost fruit, you must take a tour of the solar system where your fruits are scaled down to representations of the planets. Use your knowledge of the solar system to help you get your fruits back. You must start where UVA students can look at the stars using a large refracting telescope. From there, you must travel the distance between the planets scaled by your fruits. Well, I guess I better go on this quest. I really want to make my fruit salad. Where do UVA students go to look at the stars? The McCormick Observatory. Well, here I am at the observatory. The sun? How did that get there? To complete this quest, it's vital you have knowledge about the biggest object in our solar system, the sun. The sun is a yellow dwarf star that's about 1.3 million times bigger than the Earth and 4.6 billion years old. Although it hasn't always been believed, we now know that every planet revolves around the sun in the heliocentric model. This is why I have forced you to learn about it. Anyways, thanks for reading. Your next location is Mercury, which is only 0.054 miles away. That's pretty close.
Hey, are you looking for Mercury?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, if you want to obtain this fruit-sized Mercury, you're going to have to answer 3 simple questions, and then Mercury is yours.
All right.
The first question is going to be, is Mercury a terrestrial or Jovian planet?
A terrestrial planet, obviously. It's very rocky, with an iron core that makes up 65% of its mass, which is then surrounded by a silicate mantle and then a rocky crust on top.
Correct. Now, what does the surface of Mercury look like?
It looks pretty similar to the moon, and it's like super heavily cratered from asteroid and comet impacts. And then also there's a lot of bright streaks, and those are actually crushed material from the impacts.
Great. I had a feeling you'd get that one right. The next question is going to be a little bit trickier. How does Mercury's rotation and orbit compare to that of Earth's?
Mercury orbits much more slowly than Earth, but moves a lot faster in its orbit around the sun because it's so much closer. Mercury's day-night cycle, it takes 176 Earth days for that to happen, which is so much longer than Earth's 24-hour cycle. The days are so much hotter and the nights are so much colder than here on Earth.
You really know your stuff when it comes to Mercury. Here's your raspberry, and good luck with finding your other planetary fruits. Oh, and this note's to help you on your journey.
Thank you. The next planet on your journey will be Venus. On this scale, it's only 0.040 miles away from you. Run! Wow, we must be getting near Venus. It's so hot.
Not a fan of the warmth? That's the kind of heat we have here on Venus due to the runaway greenhouse effect. I assume you're here for this and not for the heat?
That's right, I'm ready for the questions.
All right. Because Venus's atmosphere is so thick, we can't see it from Earth, and rovers can't take the heat. So how do we get more information about this planet?
Wouldn't it be through radar mapping? Because the atmosphere is so thick, we can't use telescopes to take pictures of it from Earth, and we can't take pictures via satellite either. So we have to use radar mapping.
Correct. What are the names of Venus's 2 continents?
Aphrodite is the one near the equator, and that's about the size of Africa. And there's one in the northern hemisphere called Ishtar, and it's about the size of Australia.
Oh wow, I'm impressed that you knew that, but correct again. Next question. Is there any possibility that Venus has or had plate tectonics?
Yes, it's entirely possible that Venus had or has plate tectonics because of the presence of so much nitrogen and oxygen in its atmosphere. These gases had to be released by some sort of volcanic activity, which leads us to believe that plate tectonics may have been present.
Great job! Here's this and a note to help you on your journey.
Thank you. It was great to see you. What a funny pun. All right, for your next planet, you'll have to travel 0.041 miles away from Venus to planet Earth. Well, I'm starting to cool off now. Is that a waterfall I hear? I must be getting closer to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. I see that you made it to Earth, which means that you might have been a trivia whiz back at Mercury and Venus. Okay, your question is, why does the Earth have a stratosphere?
Oh, because the Earth has an ozone layer. That layer is what protects us from the sun's harmful UV light and absorbs a large portion of the radiation so it doesn't reach us. This ozone layer is only possible because of life on Earth, since it's primarily made of oxygen. Other planets can't foster life, so they don't have an ozone layer, so they don't have a stratosphere.
Wow, that was great. So why is the Earth one of the few planets with abundant liquid water?
Oh, it's because Earth is positioned in the Goldilocks zone. So this is where temperatures aren't too hot like Mercury, where it's too hot for water to stay in a liquid state, and it's not too cold like further out where it turns into ice. This way it's at the proper temperature where it's cool enough to be liquid but not too cold to be ice.
Correct. Now, your last question is, why are greenhouse gases so important to the Earth?
Greenhouse gases are important to the Earth because they let in visible light from the sun but then trap infrared light that's emitted from the Earth, which keeps our planet warm. However, humans have led to an increase in greenhouse gases, which has impacted wildlife, agriculture, natural disasters, and a lot of other not so good things for our planet.
You really know your stuff. That's why we have to care about the planet, because there's no other planet that we can go to. And here's your strawberry.
Thank you.
And your note.
Thank you. Let's see. 0.003 miles away from your location, a man on the moon resides. Take the short trip and find him to retrieve your next note. It's you again!
Oh yeah! So because you aced all my questions last time, I switched to holding the moon. And my first question for you this time is, why is the moon so heavily cratered but not the Earth?
The moon has much more noticeable craters than the Earth, not because we don't have them at all, but because geological processes like erosion and plate tectonics are made possible by our atmosphere, the presence of life, and water. So all of the craters caused by asteroids and comets, those are erased on Earth because Earth has a lot more geological processes.
Ding ding ding, you got it. Now for the last question, what are the dark spots on the moon?
Oh, those are the lunar maria. Those are caused from when the moon was geologically active and lava could seep out of its thin crust, flow out, form these nice big lava plains, and smooth out part of its surface.
Right again. Here you go. And there's
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Of course.
Let's see. Mars is 0.068 miles away. A short trip there, so don't take the whole day. It's finally time to go visit some planet that a billionaire says we're gonna live on one day.
You made it to Mars. You're halfway to retrieving all your fruits.
I'm so excited to finally make my yummy fruit salad. What are the questions?
Your first question is, why does Mars appear red?
Oh, it looks red because of an iron oxide mineral called hematite. This is commonly found on Mars' surface. And then due to oxidation and water on the planet, this iron oxide rusts, which creates the red color.
You got it right. Now, next question. How is it that we know so much about Mars?
We know so much about Mars because it's one of the planets we have sent the most rovers to. Those rovers have captured a ton of pictures and gathered a lot of data about Mars that has helped us to learn more about it. Some of those rovers are called Curiosity, Opportunity, and Perseverance. You've probably heard about them.
Yes, if we hadn't sent those rovers, we might not know so much about Mars. Now, does Mars have any signs of water?
Yes, there are quite a few signs of water on Mars. First, there's this optical illusion of canals on Mars that also made us think there were signs of water, and also actually led us to think that there were Martians. They were called canali. Anyway, we also have seen some things that look like dry riverbeds, and also we have gathered some data through those rovers of Martian rocks that we know formed when water was on the surface. There's also seasonal ice caps on Mars, which are made of dry ice. And since they're seasonal, we know that they're there and they're made of dry ice because when it's springtime on Mars, we can see that some of that water is melting and leaving dark marks on the surface, but then during the winter, they go away.
Congrats! You officially found half of your fruits and are done with the terrestrial planets. Now you get to go explore the planets beyond the frost line.
Thank you. Let's see. A spot that's big and red is where you'll be. Jupiter is about half a mile away, so go and see your watermelon. Wow, good thing I made it through the asteroid belt okay.
Welcome to Jupiter. I'm sure you're more than ready for your question. So my question is, what is Jupiter primarily composed of?
Jupiter is mainly composed of hydrogen and helium, including metallic hydrogen, and it doesn't have an actual surface because of it. As it formed beyond the frost line, it couldn't collect as much rocky material as the terrestrial planets. That's why we call it a gas giant.
Why is Jupiter more colorful than the other planets?
That's simple. It's because of all the different types of chemical compounds that form the clouds we see on Jupiter. Their chemical composition and the atmospheric gas are what cause these bands. Where the bands are lighter in color is where the gas is rising, and the darker color is where the gas is sinking. These gases are typically ammonia and water that are then mixed with hydrogen and helium in the atmosphere.
Yep. Now, lastly, how many confirmed moons does Jupiter have?
About 95 confirmed moons. The most well-known of those moons are the Galilean moons, which are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. These moons helped Galileo and other astronomers realize that other planets could also have moons, and that Earth wasn't special.
Correct. And if it weren't for those moons, who knows how long it would have taken us to find out other planets also had moons. Now, Here's your watermelon.
Thank you.
And your milk.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, let's see. 0.6 miles away, there are large rings where lots of different particles cling. Saturn is where your next fruit will be. Okay? I only need a few more fruits and then I can make my fruit salad.
Hey!
Hey!
So, you're so close to the end. Congrats on making it to Saturn.
Thank you.
And the first question for you is, what are the rings made out of?
I think they're primarily made out of rock and ice particles of varying sizes, and they reflect light from the sun. That's why we can see them so easily. This ring system extends 175,000 miles away from Saturn and varies only vertically about 30 feet.
Great job! Now, for something a bit more challenging, are the rings of Saturn and all the other Jovian planets leftovers of the solar system?
No, they're actually made up of many different kinds of material. It's an amalgamation of rock, ice, asteroids, and parts of other moons that got broken up. This is due to Saturn's strong gravity that makes it lose and gain material, and they're also supplied by the moons.
Well done! Titan is one of Saturn's most recognizable moons. Now, what probe lets us get pictures of its surface?
Wait, I know this! Huygens probe gave us some insights into what Titan's surface was like in 2005. That's why we know Titan has liquid methane and ice rocks.
Amazing job! Now you can have one of your final 3 fruits, and here's your note as well.
Thank you. All right. Uranus is 1.3 miles away. Arrive there and make my day. Wow, we've made it so far from where we started.
You made it to Uranus. I'm sure you're ready to start with the questions. Alright, so what makes Uranus different from the other planets?
What makes Uranus so unique is that its axial tilt is about 97.77 degrees. So instead of having the north and south poles up here, it's actually flipped like this, which makes it have super extreme seasons.
Yep, it's one of the few exceptions in our solar system. Does Uranus have a surface we can land on?
Uranus has no solid surface. It's composed mainly of hydrogen compounds and helium with only a bit of rocky material, similar to the other gas giants. This means that no probes would ever be able to land on Uranus, but we can send them through the atmosphere to collect data.
Bingo! Why is Uranus considered an ice giant?
Uranus is considered an ice giant because of its composition. The planet is made up of more than 80% of dense icy materials like methane, water, and ammonia, which are not in their liquid forms but in their ice forms since we're so beyond the frost line. It also has a small rocky and icy core, we think.
Correct! Now go and find your final fruit.
Thanks for the help. Now, Neptune, so bright and blue, is about 1.83 miles away from you. All right, let's go. I'm so excited to get my final fruit and make my fruit salad.
Welcome, Neptune! Congrats on making it to your final planetary fruit. Now, why does Neptune look blue to our eyes?
Neptune looks blue to our eyes because of the methane gas in its atmosphere. This gas scatters all of the blue light and absorbs the red light, which is similar to why the sky appears blue on Earth.
Correct again. Now, what is the great dark spot that we see on Neptune, and how do we know about it?
The great dark spot we see on Neptune is a giant spinning storm that at one point was as big as Earth. It's pretty similar to the great red spot that can be seen on Jupiter. We first discovered the great dark spot on Neptune back in 1989 thanks to the Voyager 2 spacecraft.
You know it. Now, how long does it take Neptune to complete one revolution around the sun compared to the Earth?
Neptune takes 165 Earth years to get back into the same spot in its orbit as it completes one revolution. This is so much longer than Earth's because it's so much farther away from the sun.
Congratulations, Paige! You've completed your quest and now you have all your fruits. I hope you enjoy your salad.
Thank you so much. Wow, I never knew how informational it would be to go on this quest for all of my fruits. I'm so excited for my fruit salad. Wow, I never realized just how much I knew about the solar system. Like how Saturn has such cool rings and Jupiter is so much larger than all the other planets. Wow, I'm so excited to make my long-awaited fruit salad.